rescheduled School Board 25-26 tentative budget and millage rates public hearing at the Joe N. Idlet Jr. TEC. Today is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, and the time is 5:01. The original 25-26 tentative millage rates and tentative budget public hearing was scheduled for Monday, July 28, 2025. Due to publication errors of the trim advertisements on Friday, July 25th, 2025, the original public hearing was rescheduled and the special meeting was called to comply with the trim timeline requirements according to Florida Statute 200065. The corrected advertisements were published in the TC Palm on Sunday, July 27th, 2025. Accordingly, the original public hearing on the July 28th, 2025 was rescheduled for today, July 29th at 5:01. At this time, I would like to call the special meeting to order. The time is 5:02. Please stand and join me for the pledge, followed by the adoption of the day. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Seeing as there are no consent or action items to approve, we will move into the public hearing for the proposed final millage rates and the proposed final budget. There will be an opportunity for the public to speak during the public hearing portion of the final proposed millage and budget. I will need a motion for order to adopt the orders of the day. Okay, motion by Mr. Dyer, second. Thank you, by Ms. Rosario. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the adoption of the orders of the day, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's a 4-0 vote. Thank you. All right, now we go into the purpose of the public hearing. Being there are no consent or action agenda items to be approved, there will be a review of the proposed 25-26 tentative millage and tentative budget, followed by input from the public. Then the board will adopt appropriate resolutions with roll call votes. Dr. Moore, I'd like to recognize you to explain the purpose of the public hearing.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you just referenced, we are here to speak about and approve our proposed millage rates, and Mr. Green and team will facilitate some of that dialogue, so I will turn it over to him for the following items.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, through the chair. So tonight, this evening, there are three parts to the meeting. There is a public hearing on the tentative millage rates. Then you'll adopt a resolution. There is this public hearing on the tentative budget, which you'll adopt by resolution. And in the closing, we'll discuss next steps and talk about the date for the final millage and tentative budget hearings that will happen on September 9th. As we get to each public hearing in the discussion, I will go over the millage rates individually during that public hearing, and then I'll go over the tentative budget under the discussion for that public hearing.
Thank you very much. Board members, any discussion on that? Questions? Good. Thank you. All right, now we will go into the public hearing on proposed 25-26 millage rates. Dr. Moore, have you documented that the public hearing was properly advertised in accordance with state statute?
Yes.
We now recess the meeting to conduct the public hearing as advertised. The public hearing is now in session. The time is 5:05 p.m. Dr. Moore, are there any written responses to the advertised public hearing to be read at this time?
Not at this time.
Thank you. The public is invited to address the issue at this time. Is there an individual representing an organization or his own personal or public interest who wishes to speak? All right, the announced public hearing on the 25-26 proposed millage rates has been conducted pursuant to notice, and ample opportunity to address this issue has been provided to all. The board meeting is reconvened at this time, 5:05 p.m. Okay, I'd like to call for a motion. Motion by Mr. Dyer. Second?
I'll second.
Sorry. Discussion on this? Okay, we now have a vote on the public hearing and proposed millage rates. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay, 4-0. Thank you very much. All right, now we will go into the approval of the resolution 2601, adoption of the 25-26 tentative millage rates. And again, we're looking at this as far as the resolution number 2601 millage rates, and now we need to adopt. Mrs. Moore, we need to take a roll call vote on this, so we will go ahead with the roll call vote.
Dr. Plaska is absent today. Ms. Rosario?
Yes. Here, aye.
Dr. Jones?
Present, did you say present?
Yes.
Chair Barrenborg?
Yes.
Mr. Dyer?
Yes.
Okay, the resolution passes with a 4-0 vote. All right. Now, the next part of this is a public hearing proposed budget. After Dr. Moore and Mr. Green will review the 25-26 proposed budget, tentative budget, the chair will open the floor for discussion by board members. Dr. Moore, Mr. Green, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, through the chair. So, as you recall, on Friday, July 18th, we received the certified millage rates and the second FEFP calculation, which allowed us to put this tentative millage and budget together. That Thursday, the next Thursday, the 24th, the board received that packet of information with some supplemental information. And then on the 25th, the required trim ads. You have 3 required trim ads. One is your notice of capital outlay tax and what that will be spent on. One is a notice of a property tax increase. And although, as we'll discuss, the millage rates are exactly the same this year as they were last year, the increase in property values causes the homeowner to pay more dollars this year on their tax bill than last year. So we have to notice that as a tax increase, even though it's due to the increase in the taxable assessed value, not the millage rates that the board will levy. And then the budget summary, which summarized the $418 million budget that we discussed by fund, by the 7 major funds. As I said, the increase this year in the millage rate and in the value is due to increased property values, and that is because the taxable assessed value increased around $1.9 billion, or a 6.09% increase, which means a typical homeowner might see, depending on their home value and their situation with the Save Our Home 3% cap and their homestead exemption, a 6.909% increase in their tax bill. So a homeowner with a home valued at $275,000 with a Save Our Home 3% cap and a homestead exemption could see a $47 increase. Without the homestead exemption and cap, a $96 increase. A homeowner with a home value of $550,000, as an example, with Save Our Home 3% cap and their homestead exemption could see a $94 yearly increase, and without that cap, a $192 increase. The millage rates that the board will be levying, the required local effort required by the Florida Department of Education for you to participate and receive up to $45 million in state fundings, is 2.999. There's also an additional prior period funding millage adjustment of 0.006. That equates to around $200,000, and that is to make up for value that was not collected in last year's budget. That's an adjustment that they require you to levy. A 0.748 voter or a discretionary operating millage, a 1.5 capital outlay millage, and a 0.5 voter approved millage, for a total of 5.753 mills, which is exactly the same as the board levied last year. That millage will then generate the following tentative budget. 7 funds: the general operating fund in the amount of $238,452,376. Debt service fund in the amount of $32,657,662. Capital outlay fund in the amount of $85,225,405. a special revenue, which is your federal and food service, in the amount of $21,101,611, an internal service fund, which is your health insurance fund, in the amount of $38,057,897, an enterprise fund, which is your extended day fund, in the amount of $3,210,930, for a total tentative budget of $418,705,881. And that overall budget is approximately a 3% increase from the prior year budget. So with your actions tonight, you will be adopting 2 resolutions that will allow the superintendent to certify our DR 420S to the property appraiser and to the state. And then we will move into additional workshops over the summer in August, and then we meet again on September 9th, where you will have 2 more public hearings to adopt the final millage rates and final budgets. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, this item deals with the proposed 25-26 budget. Dr. Moore, have you documented that the public hearing was properly advertised in accordance with state statute?
Yes.
We now recess this meeting to conduct the public hearing as advertised. The public hearing is now in session. The time is 5:12 p.m. Dr. Moore, are there any written responses to the advertised public hearing to be read at this time?
Not at this time.
The public is invited to address the issue at this time. Is there any individual representing an organization or his own personal or public interest who wishes to speak? The announced public hearing on the proposed 25-26 tentative budget has been conducted pursuant to notice, and ample opportunity to address this issue has been provided to all. The board meeting is reconvened at this time, 5:13. I'd like to call for a motion for the public hearing on proposed 25-26 budget.
Make a motion.
Ms. Rosario, second.
I'll second.
Mr. Dyer, any discussion, board members? Okay, we will now take a vote. All in favor of the public hearing on proposed 25-26 budget, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you. Vote carries 3-1. All right, at this time, we will go into the approval of Resolution 2602, adoption of the 25-26 tentative budget. Resolution number 2026-02 for the tentative budget. Mrs. Morey, we need to take a roll call vote at this time, please.
Dr. Pasca is absent. Ms. Rosario,
Nay.
Dr. Jones,
Aye.
Chair Barrenborg,
Aye.
Mr. Dyer.
Aye.
Okay, the resolution passes 3-1. Thank you very much. In closing comments, we will go into the next steps in adoption of the budget and millage levy. So, Mr. Green, the floor is yours, and then we will conclude with any board member comments.
Thank you, through the chair. So based on your action tonight, you've approved the 2025 tentative millage rates and budgets to be submitted through the Form DR 420S to the property appraiser and the state trim office. The second public hearing on the budget will be set for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 5:01 p.m. here at the J.A. Thompson Administrative Center. And the notification for those public hearings will not be published in the paper as we did for the tentative. Mr. Davis's office and the property appraiser will mail that out in the trim notices that all of the homeowners get in their mailings, and the public hearing dates will be published on that document for all of the residents to ensure that they are notified of that date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Barrenborg, we'll start with you. Any comments in closing?
I'd just like to say thank you for all of your hard work and working over weekends. You had to do a crunch because the DOE numbers were so late, and we appreciate all your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rosario?
I cannot thank you enough for your hard work. This is when grace comes in. I think, Mr. Green, I know that, I hope that you understand my heart and how much I appreciate Kim and your entire team over in finances. I've shared my views yesterday, and I'm going to stick with my values here and my beliefs on this. Numbers-wise, I don't have any doubt that we are on the right track as we have been in the past. It's the process and the procedure and all the other stuff that I mentioned yesterday that I have concerns with. And so for that, that's why I voted no on the budget. But I do appreciate you all.
Thank you, Ms. Rosario. Mr. Dyer?
I concur. Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Bruce, for all you've done, your whole department. This has been a difficult year, especially with the state being how many months late with giving us the numbers. I mean, we still don't have how the last year closed out. And they were, again, very late, months late with getting us the numbers that we could work with. So thank you for what you had to do at the last minute to pull everything together, despite having started on this process months and months in advance. But that's it. Thanks.
It's just certainly a pleasure and a privilege to serve on this board and work with this team in all areas, not just finance, but I know how hard you work, as everyone has said, with the state, and then not sure about our federal funding either until a short while ago. I just am just very, very thankful when I look at this budget and I look at our strategic plan. I see how they really work together to make sure that our primary purpose is for the students in our classrooms, and I really appreciate that. Dr. Moore, any closing comments from you?
Just very appreciative of the team, as all of you have referenced, the volume of hours put in to make sure it's accurate, to make sure it's funding what we say is the absolute most important. Just could not be any more thankful for the selfless giving to make this a reality. So thank you so much.
All right. No other comments? I'd like to adjourn this meeting at 5:18. Thank you.